Good morning. Welcome to our Balcas online event to support the Technical University Dublin with their honours degree course in Sustainable Timber Technology. My name is Brenda McStravick and I lead the Human Resources and Training functions in Balcas. Just before we move into the event, just a little matter of housekeeping. Can I ask that you put your phone or laptop on mute to reduce the level of background noise? As we move through the presentation today, if you have any questions, please use the hand symbol and then unmute before asking a question. There will also be an opportunity to ask questions at the end. And finally, we are recording this event today. Now, I would just like to introduce Balcas to you. So what do we do? Balcas has one of the largest sawmills in the UK and Ireland, and we are dedicated to the innovative and sustainable use of timber in a range of products and in renewable heat generation. Balcas Energy is now the largest manufacturer and distributor of premium wood pellets in the UK and Ireland, bringing renewable energy to thousands of commercial, domestic and industrial customers. And as you can see, Balcas has been a leader for over 50 years. So just in terms of a little bit more about us, we have a turnover of over £100 million per annum. We employ over 380 people across 2 sites and indirectly employ another 300 through our hauliers, our forestry workers and our forestry departments. We offer highly skilled and well-paid jobs in rural communities. We work with schools and colleges to offer apprenticeships and graduate programmes. We are committed to investing in our people, and primarily we are very sustainable. The energy generated by Balcas displaces the equivalent of 250,000 tonnes of carbon from fossil fuels, and our timber products are estimated to displace a further 300,000 tonnes. So today we're here to speak to you about our bursary. The forestry product sector is worth approximately €800 million in Ireland alone, and this is continuing to grow. And Balcas are committed to growing with it, so we are delighted to support our future timber technologists by providing financial assistance and practical placements while you study. We're here today to talk about why we're going to support the honours degree in Sustainable Timber Technology and what Balcas will provide. We will provide financial assistance, a £2,000 sterling bursary per year. We see £1,000 of that being paid in December and a further £1,000 in the summer on receipt of the pass mark for the modules undertaken. We will offer paid full-time summer employment at our site, primarily in Enniskillen, and there is also the potential then of postgraduate employment on the successful completion of your degree course. Now, I would like to hand you over to Joseph Little, who is the Assistant Head of School for Construction and Building Performance in the Technical University in Dublin, and he will share with you today the details of the course in Sustainable Timber Technology. Over to you, Joseph.
Hello, my name is Joseph Little. I'm the Programme Chair of TU838 BSc in Sustainable Timber Technology, an exciting new programme that Technological University Dublin is introducing this September 2021. I'm delighted to be here at this Balcas Timber Limited Open Day event to promote the programme and also to promote employment in that excellent company. Ireland is at the start of an extraordinary number of revolutions in how and why we use timber and timber technology, how we do business and what we learn. It's a great time to consider a career as a timber technologist. The programme is set as an honours degree programme, so a National Framework of Qualifications Level 8. It's a 4-year programme. It has 32 students in each first year intake, and it's located in the Linen Hall, largely in the Linen Hall building, which is in the Bolton Street complex, Bolton Street campus of buildings clustered around Bolton Street itself, which is in Dublin 1 on the north side of Dublin, very close to the top of O'Connell Street. In terms of minimum entry requirements in the Republic of Ireland, we ask that students have passed 6 subjects in the Leaving Cert. 2 of those must be at higher level, so H5 at least in the higher level, and the other 4, excuse me, can be a grade H7 or ordinary level 6 or higher. Of those 6 subjects, 1 of those should be in English or Irish and achieve H6 or ordinary level 5, and the other one hitting the same level in mathematics. As an equivalence in the UK or Northern Ireland, we ask that students have completed a GCSE, which would include maths and English, that they've completed and passed a GCSE, and that they have 3 A levels, one of which must be at C and one of which must be at B. In terms of CAO points, through the Republic of Ireland system, we advise that 350 points is a good level to hit, to try to achieve, but it's actually unknown. We don't have a points level at this stage simply because the program is new. We will take non-standard applicants this year as in future years, but this year it'll be into the existing program, which is an ordinary level 3-year degree program, focused more narrowly on joinery and furniture making. So students who've come through have a timber skills background, whether through a furniture design making program, further education program, or through, let's say, a timber related apprenticeship. So in the future, obviously, non-standard applicants will be able to get into, of a suitable kind, will be able to get into second year of this program, TU838. The timber industry is exciting, it's diverse, it's innovating, it's growing fast, and it's at the center of the emerging bioeconomy and our low carbon future. And it needs loads of graduates, it needs you. So obviously we take sustainably forest trees, we bring them, they're brought, I should say, to sawmills and board mills, where timber technologists will engage in terms of questions of quality assurance and moisture content, strength. The material is provided for use in anything from making pallets to making pellets to making fence posts to making sheds to making different types of board materials in board mills. There you've got pellets for burning, low carbon heat, fuel. You've got developments like Goldsmith Street in the UK, which won an award in recent years for Passive House Social Housing, a fantastic project where the timber frame was supplied by a company called Signum. And there's another photograph of the same development afterwards. It's won a whole bushel of awards and a great example of high quality Irish timber frame being used abroad. You can have long span timber frame materials, whether they're made in glulam or trusses, such as you're seeing here. You have buildings like Brook Commons in Vancouver, which I think is a 18-story high building, so student accommodation, 600 beds, made with mass timber. So all 18 stories are mass timber construction, a really remarkable building made in cross-laminated timber. Or again, you've got examples of really lovely joinery. There's a student making double curvature joinery in one of our Joinery 3 module. You've got kitchen fit out work going on, and you've got beautiful furniture of all sorts. You can also have, obviously, people with beautiful turned wood fountain pens or cutting boards. You can have timber products that have incredibly keyboards, incredibly wide range of uses, and then lignocellulose materials that can even be woven into clothing or can be used as food for humans. So the usages of timber and the parts that timber lignocellulose, the building blocks of timber, are incredibly diverse. The boundaries are our imagination, really. So moving on, our generation's challenge is, I would say, to re-engineer all of our society and production radically so that the quality of life and equity on this planet can be delivered within stringent environmental limits. So if we look at the image on the left, that green box is that example of where you could say the good life is being achieved and it's within the environmental limits we need. You can see clearly there's no countries in that space at the moment. There are countries that are getting quite close, but none of them are. Those circles that represent countries that are red, outlined in red, are EU countries, and you can see they're quite a distance off. Most of those are experiencing what you might call the good life, but with an environmental impact that is double or treble or quadruple an impact that's acceptable, really, from a long-term, a historical perspective, a societal perspective, a perspective across the planet, or for future generations. So our goal as humans should be that we can allow as many people into that space where they can get clean water, they can get good education, young girls can feel protected, that we don't damage the ecosystem and all these other things. And one of the things we need to do is to enable that to happen is to make a systemic change in the way that we produce, consume, and discard goods. And that is possible. That's the good news. By developing our bioeconomy, the renewable segment of the circular economy. So the circular economy is where materials stay in usage, unlike the dramatic way today, which we mine or capture or kill or harvest materials, use them once and discard them. The circular economy is where we make better use of materials, we make use of more renewable materials, we use less damaging materials, and then we use those materials for far, far longer. We keep those, we remanufacture them, we reuse them, we repair them, and hopefully when it's done right, at the end of their life, if they do come to an end of life, they can then be given back to the earth, or they can find a new use, and so on. So we can find new and innovative ways of providing food, products, and energy without exhausting our planet's limited biological resources. So globally, we need to protect our old growth forests and plant far more trees to provide us with the material for an increasing variety of high quality timber products. Timber has a triple carbon benefit. So first of all, when the tree is growing, carbon dioxide is locked in. It's literally breathed in by the tree, and the oxygen is released and the carbon is actually captured, and it becomes the building blocks of that tree. So approximately 1 meter cubed of timber makes 1 ton of carbon, which is extraordinary. So this carbon can be locked into long-lasting timber products that we make and then employ in the circular economy, but we can also replace carbon-intensive alternatives like steel, like aluminium, like concrete and plastics. And timber is, like other types of plant materials, some of which we eat, is a carbohydrate, and fossil fuels are hydrocarbons. And you can make almost anything out of a carbohydrate that you can make with a hydrocarbon. So across the EU, forests and timber have the potential to deal with about 20% of the EU's total CO2 emissions at the moment. And the good news is that just at the time in Ireland's history that we need to engage with things like climate mitigation, that we need to make significant changes, increase that bioeconomy, etc., just as that is necessary for our society, we're also receiving a doubling of the Irish harvest of trees that have been sown for forest production and making timber products. So it's an amazing gift that we're getting at exactly the right time in our history, and we need to use this really well. So we're also drawing on the past 10 years of the existing program, which has been called BTEC, Bachelor of Technology Ordinary Degree, or in Timber Product Technology, which was focused on furniture and joinery, manufacturing and management. And we've learned a lot on that. We've got a huge depth of skills. We've got a fantastic lecturing team. We know so much about the industry. We're so well established, and we want to maintain that and carry that through into the new program. We want to make a wide range of really skillful graduates who can serve the entire timber industry in this new program. So this immersive 4-year full-time program has a mix of theoretical and skills-based modules. Cross-sectoral skills such as critical thinking, creativity, management, collaboration and professionalism support the central focus on wood science, timber skills and production management, which you can see in the image to the left. The program has strong links with industry. Field trips and guest lectures will be regular occurrences. Field trips from the first few weeks in semester 1, for instance. And those kind of activities will supplement the academic content, and obviously there will be work placement in year 3, actually in semester 6 specifically, and that will provide so much of the context for the thesis, which you can see indicated in pink there, research in the final year of the program, year 4, or semesters 7 and 8. Looking again at that diagram on the left, you can see that there's a big area of green there associated with timber skills. There'll be many, many hours of timber skills every week for the first 4 semesters, building up the knowledge of students in timber skills. We don't expect anyone to have any knowledge of timber skills coming into the program. It's not necessary that they know what a chisel is, or a planer, or a thicknesser, or whatever. We will teach them all the skills that they need. And what's really important about the timber skills is that in learning how to produce something and learning craft skills, hand skills, and then using power tools, and then using small machines and large machines, those students will also gain a sense of time management. They'll gain a sense of production. They'll gain a sense of how materials move and distort, and therefore wood science, material science. So there is so many different ways, and of course also design and innovation. There's so many different ways in which that focus on the timber skills supports so much else in the program. Visual communications is about that drawing element to support what's being done in the timber skills. And then there's 5 modules on wood science, which support the deeper learning of the student as they're engaging with that material in so many different ways. We also learn about industry context there. You can see in purple at the bottom, what is this industry? What was the impact of IKEA arriving in Ireland? What is a joiner? What's a cabinet maker? What's a sawmiller? What is the language? What are the production processes? How many people are employed? You know, all those different types of understandings about the industry are so important, because particularly because of its breadth and all those opportunities that are in it. They'll all be taught. And then of course communication and multidisciplinary activities, design and entrepreneurship and innovation and business, all those other elements that support that central engagement. We also think it's really important that the student engagement is wider, that it goes beyond what happens specifically in the class. And for instance, there's Alicia Taylor, who was commended on her E3 rocking chair, which is a reinterpretation of a Victorian bent wood chair by Michel Tonnet. And a beautiful piece and nationally recognized now. And that's not the first time that we've been commended, our students have been commended in the last few years. We have field trips. There's a trip to Castletown House, which is one of the great houses in the greater Dublin region, with wonderful examples of historic joinery and furniture that the students were able to explore and learn about with great guides. You can see examples of Ireland Skills competition work, which we enjoy greatly and is open to all students in the class below 23 years, younger than 23 years of age. 23 or younger, I should say, and they compete in the cabinet making, in the current program and in the future program, in the cabinet making and joinery Ireland Skills competition. And I think is it the first and second students who win that nationally, who get placed nationally, go on to represent Ireland in the World Skills. And that is literally a life-changing event where you go to literally a stadium dedicated to celebrating technical skills, whether that is, you know, building an engine, whether that is applying makeup, whether that is cooking food, whether that is designing technology, or whether that's making things in timber. It's the whole wide range of technical skills. And by having our students competing and benchmarking what we teach students against the Ireland skills and therefore the world skills, we know that our students are delivering at a significant level. We also have group projects, student group projects, such as the one you're seeing at the bottom left there, where we were building with students from architectural technology and the architecture program as well, both of which are big programs in the school, the same school, and also with German carpenters. And then the middle image, where they're all holding these amazing different types of windows and bedsteads, is second year students with the German carpenters when they visited in September. They visited for several years in September, and we want to keep that going. They won't come this September because of so much going on, COVID, etc. But they will be coming the September after that, and so on. And typically they work with second years in our program, which would suit any student coming into this program this September. And then the third example there on the right of that is an example of a super low energy timber frame building with really progressive detailing, timber construction and wood fiber insulation with air tightness and all the rest. And there's an example there of Alicia Taylor, who went to the Women Build Nations event with several thousand other female craftspeople and technologists in all sorts of trades and skills areas in America 2 years ago, and found it an absolutely life-changing experience, very reaffirming as a woman with a skill focus, which is fantastic. Our graduates will be industry-ready timber technologists. As it happens, they won't be foresters, they won't be scientists, they won't be engineers, builders, or architects. What's important is they will be the generalists at the center of the whole timber industry, creating timber products, managing businesses, driving innovation, supporting specification, adding value, and maintaining quality. So all essential roles. Since a program in a different university closed in Ireland in 2014, there has been no program in this space serving the full timber industry. And the industry has been very, very aware of that. Sadly missed them, had difficulty putting people in placements and difficulty employing people. And they are delighted. Wherever we go in the industry, they're absolutely delighted that this program has started up and we're getting significant offers of support. In terms of career opportunities, there are many. So from that kind of maker or restorer of beautiful timber artifacts in the tradition of the joiner or the cabinet maker or the furniture maker, being a craft worker owner at that, again, kind of craft and small scale end, all of that's possible. But also being a technical and having technical and managerial roles in the drawing offices of joineries and cabinetry firms and timber frame businesses, are equally being in production management and technical roles in sawmills and board mills and joinery and cabinetry and timber frame businesses. And there are so many of those different roles. Equally being in technical and managerial roles relating to quality assurance and compliance management, which, as you can imagine, for a material which can degrade, is a natural material, it has a variability naturally within it, and then gets treated sometimes. Those treatments, those standards, those classifications in terms of strength and grade and all those things, they need to be understood, they need to be compliant, they need to be checked. So there's also the potential for new materials and laboratory work. There's loads of room for timber seasoning or preservation specialists. There's also room for consultants in inspection, in survey, in the issue of technical reports. And there's room for people in technical sales and marketing roles, because it's not only the timber products that we manufacture in this country, it's also all the timber products that we import into this country. And all of those architects and engineers that need technical support when they're looking to specify a product. Why is this the right product for me? Do you understand this product? Can you help me? Can you guide me through this process of designing and specifying this building, this artifact, whatever? And we need graduates who can engage in those. There's also many other roles in terms of import export, in terms of government policy, and even, you know, potential for educational roles thereon. So the programme features excellent prospects in a growing industry. It's the sole programme serving the full sector across the whole island. We've had really, really strong support from industry, loads of offers for paid placement in year 3, loads of interest in graduate positions. And I think that's reflected in the fact that both Balcas Timber Limited and Kingspan Century are providing scholarships and bursaries before the programme has even started. And we're really delighted by that. And we want to work closely with those companies. And we think there's actually 1 or 2 more that may come before we open. In terms of scholarships and bursaries, the way we see it operating is that in January of the first year, a particular student will be awarded based on their semester 1 results and an application and interview process, which will involve those companies, so that student will then have their fees paid for their full time in the program by the relevant company who supplied the bursary or scholarship, which is an extraordinary thing for that student, and then a long-term relationship with that company through hopefully all or many of the summers, certainly the placement, and hopefully employment thereafter. So we've got that strong connection I mentioned through Ireland Skills in cabinetry and joinery with international standards in terms of the skills development and reputation. We're talking to the Institute of Materials, Minerals and Mining, IMO3, in London, which is an international institute. The Wood Technology Society, WTS, Wood Technology Society within IMO3 is the society within the institute that we would relate to. And our students, we look forward to our students and lecturers being members of the Wood Technology Society, and we look forward to the Institute of Materials, Minerals and Mining accrediting the programme. There are many opportunities for progression beyond the programme in the areas of wood science, in business and entrepreneurship and sustainable development, project management and so on, that graduates might wish to consider. And I think it's really important that we're building on over 100 years of technical education in what was originally the Bolton Street Tech. The campus has provided so many first programs of education in Ireland. The first program teaching printing, the first program teaching architectural technology, the first program teaching quantity surveying, and so on and so on. So it's a long tradition, it's a great tradition, and it's a deep tradition. And I think that can give you some trust in our ability to deliver. So if you want to find out more about the program, you can visit the website. Just click on www.tudublin.ie. tudublin.ie, and then put in the search bar, the search field, TU838 as the program code, and you'll find it immediately. When you look at the website there in the left image on the screen, you can see the little round ask button. So click on that button, ask a question, you'll get an answer, or obviously navigate through the various sections within the web page. And in there, you'll find videos such as the ones you're seeing there from graduates of the previous Irish program that was in UL, a graduate of the existing current level 7 3-year program, into discussions with me, and industry presentations made to the IW, the Irish Wood and Furniture Manufacturers Network, and then even timber technologist Bob Davis, who's a senior technologist who's had a wide and really important career for many decades as serving the industry, developing standards. You can also check out our infographics, which are fun and interesting, and we're also turning them into posters, which hopefully will turn up in a woodwork class near you. But please, by all means, download those infographics and share them with your friends. And you can also visit our Instagram account, which is, I think, it's a wood technology or timber technology at TU Dublin. It's something like that. You'll find it very quickly, and just take a photo of that QR code, and the website will open up for you. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for listening. Please feel free to visit the website, ask a question there, or indeed you can email me at the address below, joseph.little@tudublin.ie. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Joseph. My name is Angela Montgomery, and I work within the Human Resources Department here in Balcas. And one of the roles that I take on would be with training and development. So that's obviously very important for anyone who is successful and coming to do this degree and working with ourselves here in Balcas. So we are here to offer you a meaningful career in a sustainable business, and you will become part of a dynamic and growing business. With that in mind, the meaningful career and a wide range of opportunities, but it is essentially about you. So if you show us that you want to build a career, you want to learn and you want to grow with Balcas, we will nurture that and we will ensure that you get all the opportunities that you need to progress with us. So training and development then. Firstly, let me introduce Anya Butler, just on the right hand side of the screen here. So Anya joined us in 2019 as a graduate engineer following her studies in Queen's University Belfast. Anya is now an integral part of our customer engineer team. She works on boiler houses and at some of the bigger distilleries in Scotland. Maeve McCartney then joined us in 2009, and Maeve joined us as a customer support assistant. She has a degree in aeronautical engineering and now heads up our customer engineering team. Her role involves being responsible for delivering carbon neutral energy to the industrial sector, as well as ensuring all our customers' technical needs are met. So we will provide you with fully paid and mentored placements during your time here in Balcas and when you're studying your degree. So in addition to the academic and technical knowledge that you will gain through this degree, Balcas will provide the environment to practically apply your skills through our training and development programme. We will put in place a full training programme which will structure your placement, and you will have a mentor to guide you in your new role. You will become well grounded in all areas of our business, and your role at this stage will be team leader or supervisory level. So upon completion of your degree, we will then provide you with a graduate management position to develop your skills. This is where we see you developing your skills along with our needs to round you into a true timber professional. When you graduate, your training and development in Balcas continues. We will provide further attention to your training and development needs to ensure you are continuously improving on your professional development. To help us then to grow tomorrow, we see your future in the next 5 to 15 years progressing through from junior to senior management, and this includes budgetary responsibility and accountability, whatever your chosen field, be that production, sales, business or operations. So now let me introduce you to 4 members of the Balcas team who joined us as graduate engineers. They are now part of our management team. Gary Kettles and Jonathan Robinson, they joined at the same time and they actually lived together at university. Gary is now our energy plant manager here in Enniskillen, and Jonathan is our secondary processing manager. Simon has progressed to assistant CAE mill manager and John Owens is reman manager. So today I am delighted to say as well we have Sean Lacken joining us at our event today. So Sean began his career in Balcas as a placement student in 2015 while studying a BSc Honours in Wood Science and Technology. 2018 saw Sean progress to the role of assistant plant manager, and that was in our Invergordon site over in Scotland. and as recent as 2020, Sean became the plant manager at Invergordon. So I will now pass you over to Sean, and he'll talk a bit about his career in Balcas.
Thanks, Angela. Good morning. So my name is Sean Lacken. I am the plant manager of our energy plant here in Invergordon, Scotland. And I'll just take a few moments to run through my journey so far with Balcas. So I studied wood science and technology at the University of Limerick and graduated in 2016. And I chose wood science and technology because, as Joseph referred to there, it offered many potential career opportunities and areas of further study. And in my final school years, I really wasn't sure what kind of career I wanted to pursue, but I wanted something that was going to offer a practical element, or something that wasn't just going to be a desk job. And with the University of Limerick, they offered a really good placement opportunity too, so it was really the course that stood out for me. Looking at the new course, Sustainable Timber Technology, there appears to be quite a few similarities between this and the course that I studied, and some really good opportunities to come out of it too. My journey with Balcas began in 2015, and as part of my third year, we had to complete an 8-month placement that ran from January to the end of summer in August. And I would have joined the Inniskill Ensemble team, the remanufacturing unit, which is one of the secondary processing units. And I carried out my placement in that unit for the 8 months. So initially I would have just kind of been out on the shop floor, learning the machines, the equipment, I suppose the way that the department runs, and just getting familiar with the operations there. And then over time, I was kind of, I suppose, fed more responsibilities, and I worked my way into a supervisory role. And I also had a really good manager, Jackie, at that time, who kind of nurtured my progress and I suppose kind of gave me more responsibility as time went on, and really kind of built up my core skill set, and I suppose gave me the confidence to take on more responsibilities. And by the end of my placement, I knew that the manufacturing kind of industry was something I wanted to pursue and something that I enjoyed. Then when I completed my 4th year study in June of 2016, Balcas offered me a full-time graduate position, and I rejoined the remanufacturing department in the Inniskill Ensemble. And I kind of took on where I left off, building on my core skill sets, expanding my knowledge of the sawmill and manufacturing industry. And again, over time, kind of took on more responsibility, kind of almost a junior managerial role within that remanufacturing unit, and making cut plans, managing people, trying to improve equipment efficiency, all that kind of stuff. In January of 2018, I got the opportunity then to move to the renewable sector of our business, and I joined the Invergordon team here as a pellet plant engineer. And this was a big step up and a totally new challenge, a very different process. The plant over here runs 24/7, so it's probably a lot more high paced. Any downtime at all kind of needs to be dealt with very quickly and efficiently, so that I suppose the problem is found, identified and solved quickly. And I suppose it developed my skill set in a different sense, and I suppose really looked at my kind of ability to problem solve. And it was also my first managerial role. I suppose after a couple of months, I kind of took on full responsibility for pellet production, became the production manager, and managed a team of 10. I suppose that was a really good opportunity too, to manage people, and something that I probably learned a lot in a short period of time. And then in the middle of 2019, I progressed further and took on the role of assistant plant manager for the whole site. So the Invergordon site basically has 3 departments. It has a log yard processing area, it has the CHP, which is combined heat and power, basically the energy side, and then it has the pellet plant as well. So those 3 entities make up the site here. So taking on the assistant plant manager position meant I was kind of responsible for those 3 areas, and they're all interlinked in their own way. And again, I had to kind of learn on my feet, was given more responsibility, kind of an introduction to monthly accounts, budgeting, kind of the bigger project management, that kind of side of it. And again, I had a really good mentor at that time, Johnny Pollock, who now is our COO. He was kind of the interim plant manager, and he had just a well of kind of knowledge and information that I could learn from, and he was always someone to bounce ideas off, and he gave me the space as well and time to, I suppose, develop my own kind of style of management, and again, probably just give me the responsibility I needed to develop myself. And then towards the back end of last year in 2020, I filled the boots of that plant manager position and became responsible for all of Invergordon operations. So I now oversee a team of 47, as I say, kind of responsible for all the 3 departments here on site. I suppose a big part of my day is just the day-to-day management, but also like health and safety, project management, the whole budgeting and account side of the plant here, and just making sure everything is kind of running as seamlessly as possible. It is a challenging, demanding role, but one that kind of offers a lot of reward too, and no 2 days the same. And that's something that I really like about the role, is that you kind of come into work in the morning, you could be dealing with anything from a plant issue to a finance issue, or it's just so diverse. I suppose it's something that is really enjoyable, and I'm really delighted to see such a course be made available again. For the industry is growing. There's plenty of opportunity, not just within Balcas but within the industry as a whole, and I think there's a lot of potential there for future graduates. So if anyone has any questions, I'll happily take them. Not sure if you want to take over there again, Angela. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that, Sean. And thank you as well, Joseph, for joining us today. And I'd like to thank our audience out there as well. Now, I hope after today you have a better understanding of Balcas and your opportunities to grow with us. And I hope you have a very good knowledge and understanding of the BSc Honours in Sustainable Timber Technology, which we are supporting. Now, we will compile a Q&A from today and make this available, and we will email most of you directly. But again, if there are any questions, please feel free to email hr@balcas.com and/or joseph.little@tudublin.ie. So thank you for your time today and for joining us. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.